Everyone.
Here we go. We're back. Welcome everybody. TVI episode 231. What a number that is. It's a lot of
It's a mad number,
podcasts.
that one.
It's a mad man. Do you know what? That's a mad number, that is.
That's a mad number,
Oh,
boy. Oh God. Your internet's like sticking a bit. Is mine all right?
I don't know. It sounds all right. What do I sound funny or do I look funny?
Sort of.
Is it that I'm staying? I might just be staying really still because I'm
Both,
tired.
and your internet as well.
Oh, fuck it, mate. I don't give a shit anymore. I've only got
You
one.
look like shit, man. Is your Wi-Fi all right?
You got bags under your eyes. Is that? Have you got a filter on?
Have you got a gay filter on?
Have you got a zombie filter on? You got one of them Halloween ones in it where it makes you look like a vampire. Yeah, cool, man. It looks wicked.
Yeah, it looks good, man. Cool, man. Trans one. All right, sorry.
I love the fact you always just go one step further than you're comfortable with. My mic stand's being fucking funny, man. This sort of keeps dropping down. We're back. It's too loud, isn't it? Bang! There's no more annoying sound.
Yeah. Just fucking
somebody just fiddling with a mic stand,
drilling the wall.
Sorry, let me just. Oh yeah, I've just got to put these shelves up. Is that all right?
sorry, listeners. I'm irritated as well, listeners. If that,
yeah, man, that was fucking brutal. But we're off and running. It's a day after the Melbourne International Comedy Festival's finished. I'm alive.
You made it.
I made
only in hospital for 2 days. It's a pretty clean run. You only almost died on twice on life support. You only had to have iron pumped into your blood for 3 days.
So yeah, other than that, it was quite an easy run, you know. It's quite a nice little, just a nice smooth festival, you know. It's weird that I had, you know, a major health scare.
You only saw the light 14 times.
But despite that, I've come to the end of the festival feeling better than I do most Edinburghs. You know what I mean? Like, turns out,
yeah,
because obviously I haven't been drinking. I had like a couple of drinks towards the end of the festival, but I've actually, apart from the major health issues, I've been the healthiest I've ever been at a festival. So, you know, there's something to be said for that, isn't it?
Yeah, stay healthy, innit?
Yeah, or have a health scare early doors, and
a health scare is good for a lot of people, isn't it? Not that you were unhealthy before.
Well, no, mine was a bacterial thing, innit? So like, mine was not in any way related to lifestyle, which is you know, I'm lucky, but also it's a weird one. I do reckon going into middle age, it's not bad to have a lifestyle related health scare because it makes you.
Isn't it? No.
No, but I think some people.
I wouldn't know.
Apart from
I'm at the end of life.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't remember the middle age. It was in the middle ages. Yeah, you do. I mean, I've stepped up my health, I reckon, more like in the last decade, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm doing little exercises that are more for just your I don't know.
You mean you're healthy when you used to do coke and drink and smoke weed all the time? That's weird, man.
Oh yeah. It's weird though, isn't it? Like, when I was in my 20s and I was out on it, I'd be out for fucking 40 hours, hard, nasty Amy Winehouse drugs, and just on it around London.
Yeah.
And it was almost I don't know. I'd never had a bad back or anything. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I think that's it. Your base level.
You can still sprint if you need to sprint. You're sprinting. You know what I mean? I just run sometimes.
Yeah. But now, you know, I'd crack in about 20 years. I fucking wake up with sore knees every day.
Now I sneeze and I've got to lay down. But I'm in good shape generally. I feel strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Although I went to the gym.
I'm fucking 85. But
I went to the gym for the first time since my health issues a couple of days ago, and fuck, man, having not been to the gym for a month and having pretty low energy levels, it fucked me, man. I didn't go too hard, but I also didn't go too soft either. And I woke up the next day.
You've got to go really light, man, and just high rep or just anything, movement in it.
But I went a little bit too heavy, and the next morning I felt like I'd killed myself. I felt like when you haven't been to a gym in ages, you know, I mean, which I haven't, but a month's a long enough time to have a bit of a, you know, what's the word? Go into retrograde or something for a bit. What isn't it? 2 weeks, they say. After 2 weeks, you start reversing.
You lose muscle way quicker than you make it. You know what I mean? Unfortunately,
but it's not. But you can get away with 2 weeks without losing any muscle. That's apparently the way.
It's quite good. It's quite good for you, yeah, to have like if you're hitting it hard, have like a week or so 2 off, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I felt it after a month. I definitely felt it, basically. But what's been going on? What's the news? What's the news on the ground in the UK?
Your Wi-Fi's sticking a bit, but hopefully it's all right now.
Can you hear me?
What's happening in the UK? Nothing really. You've just froze again. I can hear you. Yeah, you're freezing. I'm hoping am I all right? Because your end's recording, so yeah, I'll just shut up about it.
I can hear both of us. I can hear both of us totally clearly. I think it's you.
Oh, it might be. Might be just where I'm getting old. I'm probably having a stroke. What if I started talking and one side of my face was just long?
You're like, mate, what's wrong with your internet? And your whole face has dropped. You've got a little fire going on.
What's wrong with your brain blood clot?
Do you remember that advert with a fire in the head?
Oh, yeah.
Man, oh, man, that was fucked, isn't it?
Not mocking anyone with strokes, man. That's serious shit, in it.
I mean, I've got mates who've had strokes. We've got mates who've had.
Oh, yeah,
Marcus Birdman's he's had 2 strokes. Marcus has. Trevor Crooks had a stroke. Loads of people have had strokes. It's very common, you know.
Yeah, there's a couple of like Carrie Marks had a stroke, didn't he?
He had a heart attack, didn't he? No, his was heart attack.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah. Old Teams was more old school, mate. Good old fashioned. Fucking grab your left arm and go down.
Proper fucking circuit veteran having a heart attack. Fucking heart attack on the M1, mate.
Exactly. Fuck your strokes, mate.
Fuck your stroke. I want a heart attack in Costa at Watford Gap. Fucking 2 a.m. after a double.
Yeah.
Eating a baguette. So I want to go out.
Exactly. That's a very in jokey for comedians, but I'd say, you know, just to let normal listeners know that is the life of a circuit comedian. Is just sometimes you zoom out and you just look at you like that's fucking bleak sometimes when you're just at a service station, 3 of you driving back from a gig in like Colchester, and it's like 1 a.m. you're just at a service station just getting, oh man, you just feel grotty in it. Drinking a coffee at that time of night just to try and get the energy to drive home. You just feel like a fucking truck driver.
I've stepped up my espressos. I've started to get triples, man.
Oh my God.
That's a triple. That's £3.10 worth of fucking syrupy coffee.
What are you talking a day? How many shots of espresso are you having a day?
Well, I was reading that 4 coffees a day is a good amount for health. Like it's actually
good amount to get bowel cancer.
Actually, you know, coffee's actually plant-based. Like it's actually good for you, apparently.
Well, I mean, this is coffee beans. It's not. What do you think?
Yeah, but I eat them. No,
but
I have them on toast.
But
apparently it's good. Coffee's good for you.
But there is but caffeine. Too much caffeine is bad for you. It's proven to be.
Yeah, but the right amount is good for you. But you can go over the right amount.
So how many?
4 apparently is the amount.
4 shots of espresso. Because what's an espresso? Is 1 shot, right?
Well, an espresso is like you know, an Americano would have a 1 shot in it, wouldn't it? Or
I'm googling maximum caffeine in a day.
In espressos.
So you should,
because an espresso is basically like an Americano but without the water. Well, yes. It's got water obviously, but like an undiluted Ribena shot.
Okay, so it says the maximum is 400 milligrams you should have a day. 400 milligrams of caffeine. So how many? Let's see how much caffeine in an espresso. Espresso shot. Right. So one. Okay, one espresso is 200, around 200, maybe 212 grams of caffeine. Oh no, hang on. No, so another one. Single shot of espresso. Oh, that's weird. Oh no, this has done it in grams. That's why. You're all right. And a typical espresso has 63 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh.
So
probably not. I'm not going crazy.
So the top end maximum you should have in a day is 400. So you could get away with, what's that? 6 espressos in a day before you get to dangerous levels. What's your current average?
I reckon it's maybe 5. I mean, I do hit the doubles up mainly.
Right. Okay. So how many doubles you have in a day?
Don't know. I've had one black coffee this morning when I woke up at about 7:30, and then I've got a triple espresso from Costa in my hands.
Okay.
And a light of Coke.
And that's only it's 10 to 11 in the morning. How many more are you going to have throughout the day?
Got to see a brass. Always take a little espresso to the brass.
Do you reckon you'll have another coffee throughout the day?
Yeah.
So yes, you're definitely going to hit your maximum caffeine.
Yeah, I do. I'd say I hit the maximum. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get at.
I could stop any time. What's this, a fucking intervention?
It is hard stopping caffeine, man. Like oh man, my mic stands up again. Here we go.
I mean, a lot of people are doing cocaine though, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's not an excuse to.
A lot of people are drinking.
You don't base your vices on other people's, do you? I meant to just be. If I want
a lot of people, healthy. Most people in the world are dead. I'm doing all right.
Some people are fucking Formula 1 drivers, mate. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? But yeah, I'd say you're probably hitting the top end. You should probably just shave it back to 1 espresso at every serving, innit? Space them out over the day.
Yeah, they're only little though. I just like sipping them. They often go cold. Like,
that makes it all right.
Thing with me is
caffeine can't hurt you if it's cold.
Yeah, but I mean that I'm not like, like it's alcohol, like necking it. Like I just like it there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just sip it.
Okay.
Like a connoisseur.
Sound quite defensive about it, man.
Yeah. What's your fucking problem, man? Why don't you mind your business?
Oh man. All right.
Yeah, it's true though. I probably have the top end of caffeine. Yeah.
But that's 400's more than I thought. Like I definitely thought I was nearly at the top end. Because I have. What do I have? Yeah, actually, look, because it says coffee. 100 grams of coffee is 212. Yeah, I would never hit. I don't think I'd have more than 50 grams of coffee in any day at all. So I think I'm coming in way under the maximum. Because I don't make espressos. I make filter coffee. So I actually weigh out the grams. I weigh out the beans. I'm grinding them up myself. Do you know what I mean? So like, I know exactly.
How long does that take? Like, is that like a 10-minute procedure?
My morning coffee takes about 7 minutes.
Man, that's a long 7 minutes, man.
Why? What else are you going to be doing?
Staring at the ceiling, thinking, "Oh shit, not another day."
What's your day?
Another day of this shit.
How busy is your day? You haven't got 7 minutes to make a coffee. How long you spent on TikTok today?
My day is so not busy.
Exactly.
I don't know though. Like, I just want it now.
Yeah.
I just want things now. You know what I mean?
But that's it. I'm the opposite. I like the process. I like a slow process, and there's a sort of what is it? There's something in that process.
Like
I like
tantric.
Yeah, it's like
you like
cooking.
To edge.
I like.
When you wank, you just stop.
I just never. I've never jizzed. I've not jizzed for 20 years.
You're just full of cum. That's why you have to go to hospital.
Full of cum.
Your cum levels in your blood are really high.
Yes, really dangerously high. Like that's the red's not enough blood in your body because it's all just cum. It's disgusting.
You're full of creamy cum. Just explode.
Oh God. But yeah, it's basically I like the process. It's like cooking, innit? I love the process of starting something from scratch and then preparing a meal.
But then you eat it quickly, don't you? And then it's like,
but the eating
I
is
don't
not
really enjoy it.
I prefer the process to the actual end result. That's the nature.
I mean, if I could put, I'd like a meal, like, like the meal plans. I've looked into them, but they just seem a bit hassle. You can get you can order so there's 3 meals a day that you've got like a week's worth, and you just put them in a microwave, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. And it's healthy. It's not like a microwave meal. It's still fresh and stuff, but I would like that, instead of, or I'd like a chef ideally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. That's what I mean. That's probably the 2 different personality types. Is you like the end result.
There's that app that you can. They've got those apps, haven't they? That you can get someone in your local area to come round and clean and cook and that for you, can't you?
What?
It's called Hinge. Not really.
What do you mean?
I think it's called Tinder.
What? Hang on a second. Sorry, this fucking light stands doing my nut in. So
have you ever had a cleaner?
Yeah, we had a cleaner, but she was recommended by friends who she worked for them, and she just did loads of there was a bunch of us, like me, Chris Martin, all of us, when we all lived in sort of northwest London, we all had the same cleaner, Penka. She was great.
You'd all banger.
Just cleaned out our batty creases at the end, but no, it was
just clean the pipes.
That's disgusting.
But
no, she was. So we all had a cleaner. I've
only had a cleaner once here.
Yeah. I mean, your place is pretty small to need a cleaner. That's not a judgment, or I'm not digging you out, but I mean, no. If you can't clean your place,
sitting in one chair.
But that's what I mean. And to be honest, I always felt it was a sort of
I could do it all from here.
But yeah, I always thought it was a luxury that I didn't really need, but we just had it for it. It was like a hangover. When me and Benny Boot lived together, we had Penka doing it. And then when Benny left and then Hannah moved in, it was almost that I didn't want to sack Penka. I was I really liked having her around, once a week. Is
that why you got Hannah to move in?
Why?
Just so the place was a bit tidier. Not really.
No, but yeah, we just kept her on because we were guilt. We had the guilt. We didn't want to get rid of her. And in the end, she let us go.
Christmas Eve.
But she sort of dropped us in the end because
she couldn't be dealing with all that mess.
All the shit on the walls.
All that jizz leakage.
No, it was because she lost a bunch of customers in that area and it was a bit of a trek for her. So she just went, I'm not really going to be coming over that way anymore. So laters, which is a shame. She was very good. Let's do some questions, man. Let's see what's going on in the group. I've lost where the question is. Joe says, who's the biggest person Julian thinks he could beat in an arm wrestle?
The biggest person?
You strike me as somebody who thinks they're well good at arm wrestling. Is that an accurate description?
You know what? I don't think so. I wouldn't like to do an arm wrestle, I don't think. Because it's more technique. I don't know the technique.
I've seen a video of a guy, a Russian guy, beating somebody who's so much bigger than them. And this guy who wins has got big biceps, but you can just see that he's got
strong people.
Yeah. But it's a mixture of technique and strength. But you can't just be all strength. You've got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I could beat whoever asked that question. Though.
Okay, all right. So Joe, if you can get in touch and send us a picture of your arms, and we'll see what Julian thinks. V asked, how am I feeling post ulcer misery? It's fine. I feel all right, to be honest. I reckon I'm back to pretty much 100%. But we'll see, innit? Who knows? I'm pretty sure I'm fine. Jason said, have you ever had a bit that you were certain was a winner but never worked in practice? Joe, that's about material. I've got loads of bits where I think it up and I think that's fucking funny, man. And then I just try it and it just doesn't land. And I'll just be like, and then the moment I hear myself saying it out loud on stage, I just go, no, that's not, it's too weird or something. It doesn't suit my voice, or, you know, it doesn't have it's not got what it takes to get across to an audience.
I've had quite a few bits like that.
Yeah.
I had a bit like last year that I thought was really, because when I was talking to Paul Dudderidge on the phone actually, and in conversation we were just laughing about like something, and I thought that's so funny. Like we were making ourselves cry with laughter, and then I did it on stage. It just I don't know, it just wasn't working. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do that. Like it's funny in conversation, and then like you try to condense it and bottle it and do it on stage. Well, but maybe it was the way I was doing it.
Well, it's also like some things like are more normal to you than other people. So other people, like audiences, will hear them and think that's a bit fucking weird. Like,
yeah,
I had one. I've talked about it on here that I had it in an early version of the show I'm just finished at Melbourne, and it's about me and my mate Garrett. When we were like 18, we made a pact where we're allowed to punch each other in the face once in our lives. It's like a little silly idea we had over a beer when we were 18, where we were like, right, here's a pact, a life pact. You're allowed one free punch in my face at any point in our lives, and I'm not allowed to get upset by it.
You can only use it once.
One and done, and the other person's not allowed to get upset by it, right? And so we thought it was funny, and like we just agreed to it. And then, and it's sort of, it's hung over us since. We're still mates. So that's what, 24 years ago we made that pact. And he got married 2 years ago, and I was at his wedding, genuinely thinking I might fucking just, you know, starch him at the altar. So, yeah, I mean, like it's a funny thing. But anyway, I did that in the show. In the show, I had this bit about like this funny pact me and my mate had, and I said it. And just, I couldn't, it sort of worked, but I couldn't get it to the level of a bit that I was like going to keep in the show. And Hannah came to watch the show, and she goes, that bit comes across quite mean. Like, it sounds quite horrible that you just punch your friend in the face. And in my head, I was like, oh yeah, most normal people would think that's not a normal thing to do.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, they might think that's not even on their radar, violence. You know what I mean? It's like, what?
But that's what I mean. Like, so whereas me and Garrett, it was just a funny thing between us. The silliness of it didn't come across in the routine, and it just sounded like me and my mate wanted to just spark it, like punch each other in the head. So I think people took it as there was some sort of gripe between us that we wanted to resolve. It was the opposite. We're such good mates that we thought it'd be funny to just allow the other person to punch us once for a laugh. But like, yeah, I just couldn't get the tone of it across, so I just dropped it in the end. I did it for about the first 5 shows, and I was like, nah, it's not making the cut, so it went.
Yeah, I had a bit last year. I did try it a couple of times. It was about, I was saying, you know, like they remake films, part 2 of films, like old classics.
Yeah.
And I was saying if they did a part 2 of Pretty Woman, like that classic rom-com in the 90s, if they made part 2 when they're like 20 years into their marriage.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just really funny. Like, you know, when they're arguing, what he's going to bring up. Do you know what I mean?
You're fucking
like, I thought it was really fun.
That's a funny idea, man.
Oh yeah, sorry I didn't load the dishwasher properly. But didn't you used to be a whore? Do you know what I mean? I thought, but when I said, sorry, I've walked my muddy shoes through the living room again, but did you used to suck dick for money?
That's a funny idea for a bit.
I thought it was really funny.
And what? Couldn't you get it across? Did it sound a bit too harsh?
But I don't know. When it seemed a bit sexist, so I'm saying, did you used to be a whore?
I mean, yeah, but that's a simple wording issue. You could, you know, there's a. I think that has definitely more. There's a way of getting that joke across just with a slight language shift, easier than I think getting my one across. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a funny observation.
Do you think that could be? Yeah, I might try it. I might just work at it.
Just like,
Anyone's got any ideas and wants to write it and send it to me.
But the idea, because I suppose
so
the joke there is how when couples have been together a long time, they get a bit more, sort of, you do pulling things out of the bag in an argument is sort of quite a well-known trope, isn't it? So like, and if you had that on, if their previous life, it's obviously going to be in the tank. So I would say it's that's funny, man. Here we go. Let's do another question. What is your favorite music genre, and which one do you most dislike? Favorite music genre. I don't have a favorite music genre. I really do dart around. I go through phases of all of them.
Same here, really.
So I think my least favorite is just that sort of modern shit pop, just sort of Ed Sheeran's and all them sort of shit. Like that's shit that sounds.
I don't actually mind that if the song's good. Like I don't mind a bit of that, but I'll tell you what I don't like is that rock. Let's
metal,
rock,
like hard metal.
Yeah,
yeah. That's not for me.
I hate that. When it's deep, like there's no it's just like, and there's all these fucking geeks with fucking like jumping around like it's rebellious. I don't like that shit.
Yeah. I've never,
like they're mad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God. And then they go back to their IT job in the morning.
That's never been my genre.
I don't
for some
like
reason
that
it doesn't annoy me as much. I find that less annoying than sort of manufactured pop, just for the fact that I think it's just less cynical, isn't it? As much as I don't think it's as cool as the people that are into it think it is. I think there is a slightly more authenticity to it.
In my car at the moment, I've normally just got just mainstream stuff on, but it's still the same. But I've got I go between 80s, Heart FM 80s and Heart FM 90s. I flip between them.
Yeah.
And it's you get some bangers, man.
Yeah, man. It's
some of them 19s tunes. I suppose because it's nostalgic and stuff, and there's some good tunes, man. Like New Order in the 80s, or like I don't know, there's loads of shit.
Yeah. I've recently started going back and listened to loads of 90s sort of Bristol trip hop, like the original sort of Massive Attack albums and Tricky,
Massive Attack,
Portishead and stuff like that. I just went weirdly. They got referenced on who was it? I think it was Portishead got referenced on a podcast I was listening to about Kanye West and how much Portishead were an influence on Kanye West at a time when he was starting to make that album 808s and Heartbreaks, whatever it is. That album where he totally just changed direction, so that album of his is often cited as like one of the biggest turning points in modern hip hop, and because he just basically created a new genre of hip hop just on his own. Just went, oh, I'm going to do this now, and that's where all hip hop has seemingly followed since. Or all this Drake and all these people, all of them basically came off the back of that album. Their style of hip hop wouldn't exist without it. So
I remember Portishead, yeah.
So, so he cited Portishead as an inspiration when he was making that album. So, in a sort of roundabout way, Portishead are responsible for Drake in if you actually sort of crunch the numbers. It's pretty impressive, that Bristol scene is so influential. The stuff that they were massive. They've changed Massive
Attack from because Sally Ann Haywood lives near one of the Massive Attack people. She sees him around and stuff.
There's always been the rumor.
I wouldn't even know him if I saw them though. But that album they had was good.
Loads of which album? Loads of albums.
Blue Lines maybe or something like that.
Do you know one of them's always been rumored to be Banksy, isn't it?
Oh really?
Yeah. Rob Del Nage, I forgot. I think it's his name. He's he's always in the top 3 names of people that when people say, I know who Banksy is, he's like one of the forerunners. Which is that'd be cool. Imagine being in Massive Attack and being Banksy. Fucking hell, man. That'd be quite a cool body of work. Let's see what other ones there are. when was the last time you had a wrestling match? What's your favourite move? And she's going, oh, this is from Mayenne. She said she's going to a wrestling class this week. What do you mean wrestling class? Is that a thing now?
What, like pro wrestling, like, you know, choreographed kind of learning to fall and jump and or actual college wrestling, like?
I don't know. Yeah, what's that mean?
Because that's an actual sport, isn't it?
Yeah, but it could it be sort of an MMA type thing where it involves a lot of wrestling?
I don't know.
I don't know. Last time I've had a wrestle, I mean, apart from just wrestling around with Twyla, I've not had a wrestle with like my mates since we were like 20. You know, when you're drunk and you sort of just wrestle.
Like someone's in a headlock and it's well hassle.
And it was shit. It was never fun. That shit was never fun, man. I remember at the time, anytime that sort of stuff happened, you were all like, ugh. I remember like being on like lads' holidays in Tenerife, and we're all wrestling on a beach, and my mate's shoes got thrown in the sea, and he's never forgiven my other mate for it. And like at the time, you just had to laugh it off.
When people do that,
just getting DDT'd into the sand, and you're like, ugh. And inside you're like, I fucking hated that. It really hurt my feelings.
I remember two of my mates were wrestling once in my mum's front room, and I'm sitting there, and they got into a real fight.
Oh God!
Well, they just started. One of them just started. They were getting all frustrated, really wrestling hard, and then one of them just fucking lost it and started, and it just turned into a punching in the face fight.
Oh man! I will say that's a real. I suspect that's a working class thing, because my mates, like, quite regularly there'd be a little dust up, but normally there was between the same two people. Like, just we'd be drunk, and we'd be all joking around, and it'd just be a little bit of bite all of a sudden between a couple of people, and next thing you know, one of them would just throw a punch, and you're watching your mates just punch each other in the head. Like,
it's so funny,
man. And I think like I'd say in terms of like class, like there was never any bad blood. That's the weirdest thing. Like, you'd have a dust up and then be out in the pub together the next day, and it's like, I do think that's a real working class tradition of like just punching someone and being like, "Oh, it's all right, man. Don't worry about it." You know, it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Something nice to it. Yes. Here we go. Let's do another question. Channel 4 have announced their general election night team. Who would be your dream TVI election night team? I'm trying to see who's on their team. Claire Balding, Alistair Campbell, Emily Maitlis.
Claire Balding was the Olympian. She shone in the Olympics, didn't she? That's fine.
What is it? What was she?
She won an Olympian, like a commentator.
Oh, she was a commentator. Yeah.
Yeah, she was just really good at it.
Rory Stewart, and there's one more. I've forgotten her name. Who would be our election night team? Well, I mean, neither of us are politically minded. Yeah, so I'd say keep it like that. Just keep people who don't know anything about it, man. Just a couple of dumbos like us, innit? A couple of absolute dinguses who don't know anything about politics.
What's going on? Is this Big Brother?
Who do we know? I'm trying to think which comedians we know absolutely don't give a shit about politics. Sean Walsh.
Sean. Yeah, Paul as well, though. Yeah, they don't.
True, actually, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, that would be it. It would be what TVI and What's Upset You Now. Absolute fucking dog shit
live outside Parliament, breaking it down, questioning the politicians
for absolute.
What do you do fucks. Then? Just don't. Being in question time audience. Excuse me, I've got a question. What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah. Oh man.
Question for the back row. What does that mean?
When is it? Have they announced when the election is? In fact, if they've announced their team for the Channel 4.
No, the US one's November, in it, November 4th.
I don't know. I didn't know that.
I don't know about our one.
How do you know the American one and not our one?
I don't know, man. Because I don't know. That seems to be fucking all over my YouTube.
Oh man, that shows what your algorithm's saying. That's all the fucking
all over my YouPorn.
Right, here we go. Do you know how to get? Who's this from? Tim Bob says, "Do you know how to get stains out of a porcelain bath?" I've tried bicarb and white vinegar. That bicarb and white vinegar shit, man. I think that's a bit of a con. I tried using it to clean a cast iron pan, and it didn't do shit, man. I everywhere online, yeah, just do this; it will come straight off. And it was like it just didn't work at all.
What's he got in his bath? What marks?
Oh, he didn't say what stains they are. I mean, yeah, that's a big
bro.
Yeah.
What's the matter with your bath, man?
I mean,
fucking the Muswell Hill Killer.
Yeah.
How do you get stomach acid out of a tooth?
I've
heard that it's bicarb with lemon.
Right. Okay. So vinegar, but vinegar and lemon's got similar properties.
But cut a lemon in half, dip it in bicarb, and then rub it around it, and then leave it for a while and move house. And you go on the run.
I was convinced you were going to make one up there, like where you just, just cut a lemon in half and then just throw it out the window at a fucking pigeon
and then put it in your eyes so you can't see the stains. Every time you go in your bathroom, just close your eyes.
Yeah. I just see. So Mayen's followed up. People were asking about the wrestling thing. It's a kinky wrestling workshop. Oh my days! Can you see this photo? Can you see that photo? Look, of one of the instructors.
Oh yeah. We can just about see it.
It's out of focus, but
check out our Patreon if you want to see that.
Yeah, get on the WhatsApp group to see a woman in a leotard sitting on someone's face. Right. Okay. So what?
I just found my sport.
Kinky wrestling. Yeah. What? I didn't know it was a thing. Let me just Google this.
I mean, I bet there's
Let me just Google this and turn my camera off for 5 minutes.
Let me just Google this and put it in my diary.
Kinky wrestling.
Just Google this and book 4 tickets. All for me.
Let me just Google divorce lawyers afterwards. Is that all right? Intro to Kinky Wrestling by Mr. O and Ropey Bunny. Oh, you
Mr.
dirty.
O, the predator.
Absolute dirty fucker, man. Let's have a look.
Mr. O. What? It's just the letter O.
Just the letter O, mate.
Be careful, man. Be careful, because I'm going to be there.
Be careful. Oh man, this is what is going on. Have a look at this. I've got to share this. I'm not kink shaming before anyone judges this. I'm purely just this is my what's it called?
So it's Irish... a kinky wrestling.
Kinky wrestling, man. Have a look. So people are like getting all dressed up and
specs on, man.
This geezer, man. There's Mr. O. Look, he's a beefcake geezer. Look,
man.
Creative sadist who likes mean and dirty things.
Who's that brother with the glasses below Mr. O? What's he doing? Come on, man.
His name's Winter Song. He's got a little double dilled and some spikes. It's just like a BDSM wrestling. Fucking hell. Athena Kali.
Might have to get down there.
Get down there, mate. Get him in some Boston Crabs. Do you remember the Boston Crab? That's a wrestling move,
What's
isn't
the
it?
Boston Crab?
Boston Crab is when you sit.
Oh, yeah.
On someone's back. They're on the floor, sit on their back, pull their legs up.
And you lean back. Yeah, that's man. Never work in a real fight.
Mate, the amount of times I was in a Boston Crab at school, man. Just like me and my mates all again play wrestling.
What, with a teacher?
You end up in a Boston Crab, or what was the other one? The full half Nelson, where your arms were up and they had their arms under yours.
Oh yeah, that's
there.
Yeah,
brutal,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I've literally had just like Vietnam flashbacks of being in those moves.
Best thing to do if someone's got you in a headlock is put your, because I did it once actually. I put my hand over and I pulled their nose up, and they fucking let go, man.
Yeah.
I saw that in a self-defense VHS video, and then I was in a headlock messing around. But I mean, he was bigger than me, and I was locked here. And I remember, and I just tried it, and it fucking just pulled their nose up, and they fucking
Oh man,
horrible move.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't imagine me being in a headlock anytime soon. Let's have a look.
No way.
Somebody else has asked about the stain removal. Who's the best comedian whose type of comedy you don't like? I mean, you can really appreciate that they're very good at what they do, but but just isn't your cup of tea. Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's no type of comedy I don't like, really. I'm pretty,
Same, really.
if
Yeah, when
something's
it's
funny,
done well,
it's like, you know what I mean? I'm not
like prop comics. If it's done well, it's good, isn't
well,
it?
yeah,
Like,
Tim Vine does loads of prop
yeah,
stuff. It's fucking funny.
impressionists.
Impressionist, yeah, you watch someone like Luke Kempner or someone like, you know, it's funny when it's done well.
Yeah,
Political stuff's
or
funny
like
when it's done well.
political's good when it's done well. Like,
All of it. And he finished, but when it's done badly, it's dog shit, isn't it?
yeah, it's a hard one. That
like, you know,
clowns, I guess, are boring.
no, but again,
Although
you watch a
Dr.
good
Brown was a good show. That was a
Dr. Brown's
clownish kind
amazing.
of.
Yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen, you could say, is a bit of a clown guy.
Yeah. And also, you know, clowning in the modern clowning sense has had its hand in some comics that people would never, you know, people don't think of as clowns.
I
but,
never
you know.
really rate, like, when I see Charlie Chaplin stuff, like, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
shit.
Arguably the most well-respected comedian of all time. Julian's called it, mate. He was fucking rubbish.
I don't know.
I know what you mean, though.
He was good at what he did, but I don't know. I guess he must be. Everyone says it.
But yeah, it's not for me. Do you know what I mean?
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, waddling around
down and you're standing there. Where Buster Keaton was actually a fucking acrobat, wasn't he? But it weren't funny. He was just like,
yeah, just willing to stand in a hole where a building
can
was
roll down
a
hill. Wow, grow up.
I know what you mean, though. It's like, you know,
Chaplin's shit, man.
It's not shit.
He's fucking shit.
Oh man, I think
I've actually got someone made me a really nice. My brother-in-law at the time made me a really nice Chaplin collage. Can I get it quickly? It's nice.
Yeah, and then throw it in the bin. That was fucking rubbish. This is amazing. Just while he's gone, let's just discuss Julian Deane thinking Chaplin's dog shit. Incredible scenes here.
Yeah.
Where is it? Let's see it.
It's nice.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, it's good.
It says happy birthday, Julian.
From
laughter.
Charlie Chaplin.
It's pretty well made though. He's a really good artist.
Yeah.
His name is what's it saying it? It says a day without laughter is a day without, I don't know, it's just that repeated.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
It's good, it's quality, isn't it?
Yeah.
I regret saying shit now. The artist who made that is good, Pickle, but Chaplin shit.
Somebody else who's asked, who is the best comedian driver and who is the worst? I don't know.
I heard Jeff Leach was a bad driver, like from a couple of, like he would just be speeding everywhere.
Okay.
And people would be having heart attacks.
Who else?
I'm a good driver.
You're very careful though. I mean, you drive. I think the last time I got a lift of you, no, a few times before. One of the first times I ever got a lift of you actually was when I think you just recently got some points on your license. So you were driving so carefully. I remember in my head thinking, man, he drives slow, man.
Man, this guy's a pussy. No, that was, and this year, like, because I got a new car in October, it's faster than my old car. I've had 6 points this year already, so I need to go back to that. I need to go back to that 65 mile an hour on the motorway, kind of slow. Just take your time.
Yeah.
It's more that it's getting into the. Yeah, I got a speeding ticket in January.
Where though?
And I've had 3 points.
Were you on a motorway?
No, actually, I was. I don't think so. I think it was one of them fucking 40 mile an hour that suddenly goes to 30, but you're going like 34.
That's what I got done here, man.
It's a fucking piss take, man.
I borrowed my brother-in-law's car, and I was driving back, and there's a bit where it goes from 60 kilometers an hour to 80, so up. And I'm coming through the 60 bit, and I see the 80 sign up ahead, and I put my foot down to get up to 80 and got flashed. There was a camera.
They put them cameras there strategically.
Man, I couldn't believe it, man. It was $240. That's like 150 quid.
And you get points as well.
Well, no, he would. So because it's his car, I registered to him. He got sent the thing.
You can fuck it off.
but he got points. But I told him to defer it to send it. Like if you send it back and defer it to who was driving, I can't get the points. They don't transfer him over to the UK. So he doesn't get any points. I actually don't get any points because they can't. There's no link between the two systems. So I just had to pay the fine, which is the worst bit actually. So,
I mean, that's better than getting points still, though.
Yeah. So
I've got another one where it's a 20-mile-an-hour road, which are all over the place now, and I'm like, going, I don't know, just not much over.
Yeah.
And I got another one the other day, and I've just sent it off. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'd imagine it's 3 points.
Yeah. But in terms of comedian drivers, worst drivers I've ever been in the car with. I remember he's actually way better now, but I remember getting a lift with Adam Bloom the week after he passed his test, and he had that keen new driver eagerness that was just fucking terrifying to be in a car with. Brendan Burns, one of the worst drives I've ever been part of, just like fucking lunatic.
I reckon Sean could be dangerous because he only passed like 2 years ago, didn't he, or something?
I can imagine him being a bit like, distracted. Del Strain, I once got a lift with Del Strain, and that was fucking terrifying.
I've heard he was a nutcase, like road rage.
Yeah.
Jumping
psychopath,
out.
Mate. So yeah, that was a bad one. But they're the only ones that, off the top of my head I can think of. What's the dodgiest thing you've ever claimed as a business expense? By dodgy, I mean it was a stretch to claim the expense was related to your work. I mean, probably things that have been like semi-related to shows, Edinburgh shows. Like, I've ended up doing a story about going to a fucking water park. So I go back and find the water park receipt, and I'm like, I'm fucking having that, mate. And actually, it just was a fun day out. You know what I mean? But then, in retrospect, it did become part of work. I've done a bunch of those in the past, but I mean, that's legal. There's nothing untoward there at all. But
yeah.
I've put through items of clothing that I like bought for wearing on stage that were quite expensive.
Everything's legit in it. It's quite a wide net with stand-up, 100%, isn't there?
But they reckon like unless it's
I've put through massages and stuff already.
Putting through my cocaine habit. I've bought like expensive jackets that I'll wear on stage once every 3 or 4 months, and I don't really wear out at other times. But jackets are expensive enough that you almost feel a bit guilty about it being a tax write-off. Here we go. People are genuinely just now replying to the one about stain removal.
Lemon and bicarb, man. Try that one.
That's what they're doing.
Or just buy some. I'll tell you, the best thing to clean windows with is window lean, but it's called elbow grease.
Oh right.
No, but it's by window lean.
It was like saying, the best thing to clean toilets with is called toilet cleaner. Have you heard of it?
But it's called elbow grease.
Okay.
And it's my window cleaner, mate. He gave me one of them proper window cleaner chamois.
Oh, yeah.
They're about 6 notes. But he gave me one, and he said elbow grease by window lean. That's all you need.
Right, okay.
And it's in Home Bargains, my favourite. One of my favourites.
What's Home Bargains?
It's a quality shop that you leave with many prizes.
Is it like a sort of Lidl vibe?
I guess it's more like B&M. I don't know why people bang on about B&M.
So B&M is the one when you were saying it, I was thinking of B&M. I've been in a B&M a couple of times.
You go in B&M though, and there's like, what even is this? I don't even know what. Like, I don't need a plastic standing shelf for my bathroom. Do you know what I mean?
And or also a tin of chickpeas. There's no sort of
exactly. Like, some tuna.
There's something about them shops where like
tuna and a pot noodle.
Where it feels like a B&Q. But then there's a food aisle. It scares the shit out of you, man. Just a multi-pack of penguins.
It's like a bunker. People are waiting for a nuclear war kind of stock, innit?
Exactly. I don't like it, man. Yeah, I've been. There used to be one up near me in Willesden when I was up there, And yeah, I remember going to buy paint and stuff a few times and like poly filler. And then just coming out, I was being like, I would not buy it. I wouldn't buy that. Them massive multi bags of crisps from this fucking shop, man. I don't know.
I like a bit of Aldi, and I mean, obviously Sainsbury's and is like, you know what I mean. You can get the bits that you can't get, but yeah, I don't mind a bit of home. What am I talking about?
I don't know, man. I'm tired, so I'm just making me laugh just how fucking inane our chat is. Oh man.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if you've heard of Sainsbury's.
That's the way you get the bits, you know, you can't find somewhere else.
That's where you get stuff. What are we
talking about, man? Just two blokes talking shit.
Oh mate, I might kill myself. I might go down to fucking B&Q and get a noose, man. Oh mate, I miss drugs, man.
Yeah, mate. I'm out. All right. There's a few people chatting about things on the group, but let's not do any more questions. Let's just wrap it up in a sec. I don't feel.
Well, like I put my head in the toilet.
Yeah. I don't feel we'll top that chat, man. That's a Hall of Famer from us, I reckon. Get it on the gram, mate. Let's get that clipped up.
Yeah, I get some stuff sometimes from Sainsbury's.
It does. Sounds like we're both just stoned out of our minds in like a fucking, just in a bedroom at 4 a.m. Just talking, I mean, basically,
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to Dubai on Thursday for 10 days.
I saw that on your Instagram.
At thelaughterfactory.com. Check it out for the UAE tour.
And where? So you're in Dubai for 10 days. Who are you with? Do you know?
An American comic called Ron, Filipino American.
He's a friend of him. I think Chris Martin and all those guys.
Oh, is he?
I think
that's cool.
Chris has done Dubai with him.
That'd be cool then if we got a mutual.
I think it is person. Yeah. I'm sure they went with somebody who's Ron, who was a Filipino American sort of
I guess he's that makes sense.
That would be weird if there was another one with that mix with the name Ron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 10 days. That'd be fun.
So mate, it's 6 shows. So I got some downtime. But you're treated so well out there, aren't you? It is nice. It's a nice little run. It's a long time to be away though.
Yeah, it is. I'm off to Sydney. I'm off to Sydney tomorrow. So I'm eating them bloody. I just put an iron melt tablet in my back of my mouth and I realised it's actually there's too much going on now. I thought it would just melt away and I wouldn't even notice it. It's really bubbly and horrible. I'm taking iron supplements for a month.
Were you going to carry on with them afterwards?
Well, once I'm back to normal, I'm getting blood tests when I get back to London in a couple of weeks. So I'll find out if I need to carry on taking them. I should be back up to semi-regular levels by then.
Yeah.
But any patrons? Have we got any patrons in Sydney? I'm sure we've got a few. I'm in Sydney. I'm flying tomorrow. So it's going to be Tuesday, the 23rd. This will probably be going out that day, actually, on Patreon. And I'm there doing shows on the 24th. I'll be just doing a normal gig, 25th and 26th. I'm doing my solo show at the Enmore Theatre in the Wine Bar. So come on down, mate. And then I'll just be back in Melbourne kicking around for another week. And then home, man, back to London.
What date are you back?
I land back on the 7th of May. What date do you get back?
The 5th.
Oh, cool. That'd be nice. We'll have a bloody reunion, mate.
We'll get a pod locked in, innit, once your jet lag's over.
Yeah, mate.
By July.
I'll be all right, actually. I tend not to get it that bad the way back. So I'll be ready to go. I'm pretty much back gigging later that week, so I should be fine.
Safe.
Should we try and do one while you're in Dubai? Let's see if we can get something.
Yeah, I'll take the stuff with me, shall I?
That'll be fun.
I've got to do a Dubai podcast out there in a studio, so I'm thinking they might even have a studio I could use.
Let's do it, mate.
Instead of lugging the gear, but
What's happening
We'll
with
see.
isn't there crazy weather in Dubai at the minute? Like the sort of floods and shit.
There was mad ting floods, yeah,
Yeah.
but floods generally. Let's fingers crossed, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing less about it now.
Right.
But we'll see.
It's a pretty weird place for a flood in the fucking desert.
You know what it is? It's because they're so rich and they just fuck with the clouds and shit.
What do you mean?
That's what it was.
Was it?
They changed the weather there.
No.
Like scientifically. And apparently that's fucked shit up. I mean, unless I'm following the wrong people on Twitter.
Yeah, I heard of this Alex Jones geezer. Do you know just David Icke, man?
That's what David Icke said.
He's got some good ideas.
They're also all lizards. Did you not know they're all lizards there?
All right, well, we'll get an update from there, see what it's like in real time.
And I'll keep people updated on what I get in Sainsbury's today as well. Follow my Insta.
Oh, man. All right. Thanks, everyone, for your questions. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week when Julian's in Dubai. Dubai? How do you say it? Dubai. I said Dubai like I was in
Dubai.
All right.
Dubai.
Dubai. Let's just say Dubai, shall we? Okay. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.